All right, let's dive into something that's been making waves lately: Trump's recent moves in response to Supreme Court rulings. And honestly, this situation is a goldmine for anyone interested in the dynamics of power, law, and politics. Here's the deal. Trump is refusing to back down on key policies, even after the Supreme Court has blocked them. We're talking tariffs, birthright citizenship, and the Federal Reserve. But what makes this really interesting is how he's doing it. It's not outright defiance, at least not in the way you might think. Instead, it's a game of legal and political chess, pushing the boundaries of what the court has ruled. Personally, I think this is a fascinating strategy. It's not about ignoring the law. It's about testing its limits. For instance, Trump's new tariffs aren't a direct slap in the face of the court's ruling. They're framed as a response to forced labor practices. Clever, right? But here's the thing. It raises a deeper question about the balance of power. If a president can keep circling back to a policy in different forms, where does the court's authority end? And where does executive creativity begin? What many people don't realize is that this isn't just about Trump. It's about the precedent being set for future administrations. If this becomes the norm, we could see a lot more gray area in how court rulings are interpreted and enforced. Now, let's talk about the Federal Reserve situation. Trump's renewed efforts to remove Lisa Cook, a Fed governor, are particularly telling. From my perspective, this isn't just about policy, it's personal. The Fed is supposed to be independent, but Trump's actions suggest he's willing to challenge that independence. What this really suggests is that the line between political influence and institutional autonomy is blurrier than we'd like to admit. And if you take a step back and think about it, this could have long-term implications for how we view the Fed's role in our economy. Are we moving toward a future where the central bank is just another political battleground? Then there's the issue of birthright citizenship. Trump's new executive orders are a clear attempt to restrict it, despite the court's previous ruling. One thing that immediately stands out is the persistence here. He's not letting this go, and that's significant. In my opinion, this isn't just about immigration policy. It's about identity and who gets to be considered American. What makes this really interesting is how it ties into broader cultural and political debates. Birthright citizenship isn't just a legal issue, it's a symbolic one. By challenging it, Trump is tapping into a much larger conversation about national identity and belonging. But here's the bigger picture. These moves aren't happening in a vacuum. They're part of a larger trend of executive power being tested and redefined. A detail I find fascinating is how Trump's approach mirrors a global shift toward more assertive leadership. Look at what's happening in other countries. Leaders pushing the boundaries of their authority, often in the name of national interest. This isn't just an American story, it's a global one, and it raises a critical question. Are we seeing a new era of executive power, where leaders are less constrained by traditional checks and balances? So where does this leave us? Personally, I think we're at a crossroads. Trump's actions are forcing us to rethink how we balance judicial authority with executive ambition. It's not just about the policies themselves, it's about the principles at stake. Are we comfortable with a system where court rulings can be circumvented through creative reinterpretation? Or is this just the cost of a dynamic, responsive government? I don't have the answers, but I do know this. These questions aren't going away anytime soon. And how we answer them will shape the future of American democracy, and maybe even democracy worldwide. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.